welcome back to my channel. Today's video is part of the Project Use It Up series, and that is going to be my review or recap of January and then all of my February goals. And as usual, I have everything written down in my little journal, and so I'm just going to go through all of my goals from January, tell you what I finished up, what I didn't, and then go over what my goals are for February. So since I have a lot to talk about, I'm going to jump right into it. So as for things that I did finish up, I was able to finish up the foundation sample, and this is the Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Foundation. This was in the shade Fairlight Honey, and I think I got about 3 uses out of it. It wasn't a huge sample, but it was enough for me to figure out what I liked and what I didn't like about it. There's a lot of coverage in it, and you don't need a lot. I think it actually may have oxidized a little bit, so I'm wearing it today and it may be a little bit dark, I'm not sure. I don't think it's bad. I think it's actually a pretty nice foundation. I have a couple of drugstore ones that I'm going to be trying out. So for right now, I'm not going to be purchasing this, but I think if I wanted to invest in a high-end foundation, especially one that's going to be full coverage and seems to stay on my face pretty well, I think I might think about investing in this. The next goal that I met on my list was to finish up 2 ounces of the Ultra Shea Body Cream from Bath & Body Works, and this is in Fresh Sparkling Snow. What I do is I use this like a couple hours after I shave, and it's really, really moisturizing. And like I said, I wanted to finish up 2 ounces, and just based on where I can bend this and where there doesn't seem to be product, I'm pretty sure that I finished up the 2 ounces. So that was pretty exciting. The next item on my list was to use 3 to 4 different lipstick formulas just to make sure that I still like the formula, and the ones that I used were my Maybelline Elixir, I think it's a lip gloss. This actually I'm pretty sure expired because I've had it for about 2 years, so I used it and I enjoyed the formula, but it gave me stomach pains, so this is being destashed. Then I used some of my Milani Color Statement lipstick in Plum Rose, and this is probably one of my favorite lipsticks from this actual line. It's a very, very pretty mauve rose tone color, as the name would suggest, and this was really comfortable to wear. And then the last lipstick that I used was a NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the color Prague. And these have a really nice whip texture, but then when they dry down matte, but there's still some moisture in them. So this was really nice to wear, especially when I wanted a darker lips. So these were 3 really nice formulas to be wearing throughout the month. They were pretty hydrating. I'm really happy with my choices for the month. So the next thing that I finished up that I'm very, very excited about is my Moonlight Path fragrance, and there's probably a spritz or 2 left of this, but it's really hard to get out. So for the purposes of this video, I'm calling it quits because it'll be done in like a day, if not maybe 2 days. But I started right here on this line at the beginning of this month, and I finished the entire rest of it. So I'm very, very excited and very happy with myself. So the next goal that I happened to hit is kind of a 2-part goal. The first one was to use 2 different eyeshadow palettes, as well as using 2 different single eyeshadow formulas. So for the palette, I only used 1 eyeshadow palette, but I used it quite a lot, was my Too Faced Pretty Rebel palette. And for this, I mainly focused on Girly, which is a really pretty like MAC Club dupe type of color. And then I also got some use out of Ringleader and Gangsta. They were just really nice to pop into the crease and into the outer corner. And then for single eyeshadows, I'm actually wearing these 2 today. I used some of my Milani Bella shadows, and these are both satin mattes. I used this one Bella Ivory all over the lid, and then I used Bella Cappuccino sort of in the crease but also in the outer V. And these are a little bit hard to blend, but they're pretty nice. I also used my trio called Knock on Wood from Wet n Wild. I love Wet n Wild shadows. Not necessarily the 5-pan, but the 3-pan and then the 8-pan palettes are absolutely amazing. You would think that these were high-end shadows. They're super creamy, super blendable. Definitely a hit from the drugstore. If you haven't tried them yet, go get you some. And then last but not least, I dug out my Maybelline Quad in, it's Designer Chocolates. So I mainly, as you can probably tell, focused on this purpley shade, and then I also focused on this lighter tan shade. These are kind of stiff in my opinion, especially since, you know, I've been using Wet n Wild shadows and a couple of other nicer quality shadows. I don't think that these are really worth the money for how expensive they are. I would probably stay away from Maybelline shadows, but they're not bad. And I had the quad, so I wanted to try it out. And the last goal that I managed to hit was to use up a specified amount of my Garnier Moisture Rescue moisturizer, and basically what I wanted to do was to use from this top line to this bottom line, and I actually managed to hit that goal. So I'm probably not going to be talking about this for a couple more months, just until I get to the point where I can say, like, I want to use up the rest of it by the end of the month. But I'm glad to see that I used up as much as I thought I could, so now I know kind of how quickly I'm going to be able to use this up. So that was very exciting. So before I go into the goals that I did not quite finish for this past month, I thought I would just brief you guys on the few items that I had lines drawn for them. So the first one that I have is my IT Cosmetics Brow Power, and I've just rolled this up and I'll just show you the progress really quick. So for this one, I had drawn the line and I had basically started here. This is where I am now, and although it's not great, I mean, I definitely did not get to the halfway mark that I had hoped for. This is definitely going to be something that I continue to focus on throughout the year, but it's not going to show up in a monthly goal for at least a little bit. The next item on the list is my Benefit What's Up highlighter, and this is sort of a similar story. So hopefully you can see this. Basically, I started right here and I have gotten a little bit of use out of this, but I haven't really been able to highlight a super huge amount throughout the month. So as much as I wanted to get some more use out of this, I really did not hit the halfway mark like I had hoped. And the last item on this list was my Maybelline Baby Lips. I did actually manage to finish quite a decent amount of this. So as you can hopefully see, I actually managed to use up about a third of this. The line goes all the way down to the bottom, and then there's that much left, so that was really exciting. I knew that I used a decent amount of this product throughout the month, so I actually thought that trying to finish this up by the end of the month was not going to be that hard of a goal. I'm kind of surprised I didn't finish it, but the fact that I used up a third, pretty good. And now I'm just really quickly gonna read through all of the goals that I did not hit for the month. Really depressing list, right? So the first one is the mini lipstick. I did not actually finish that up, but I did get through about 3/4 of it, and I'll show you the progress in a few minutes. The next goal that I did not quite finish up was to finish up half of the remaining amount of one of my 3-ounce lotions. I think I finished a third of the remaining amount, so that's not bad. And then next up was the Neutrogena Acne Wash. I finished up about a third of the remaining ounce. I did not finish up either of my cleansers that were travel size, nor did I finish up the half of the face mask sample. I didn't even get close on any of them, so those are just going to be like focus on for the next few months, and then they will eventually show up in another monthly goals. As you saw, I did not finish up really a lot of the brow pencil. I finished up about a third of my green baby lips. Next was to pan one side of my e.l.f. tinted lip balm. Didn't quite get there. I did make some progress, but I didn't hit the side that I wanted to. I didn't hit half pan on the Tarte powder. I didn't really have to put more out of the sifter and into the little container as much as I had hoped I had to, so I didn't really get much progress on that, but I did use it. And then, like I said, I used the What's Up highlighter a decent amount, but I did not hit my goal. Now on to my February goals. So the first thing on my list is to finish up my Revlon Color Stay. And so I'm just gonna show you guys where I am. So I think at the beginning of this year I was here, and then this is where I am now because I have been using it for part of the month, and so I just want to use up the rest of this. I don't think that that's going to be a problem. I use a decent amount of this every time that I put on foundation. I really like it. I think this will be a decently easy goal to hit. So I said I'd show you guys my progress of my mini lipstick because my goal for this month is to actually finish up the lipstick. So this is the mini lipstick that I was focusing on for the past month, and that is my Bite Beauty Duo lipstick in Fig and Date. And so I'm just going to pull out both of them and show you. So this is a pretty much unused side. I think I used this once today, and this is where I am on Fig. So I used up all of this in 1 month. So I think to make a point to use this up and then maybe make a decent dent on this, I think that that is a very attainable goal. The next item on my list to use up is the Garnier Clean Plus Gentle Clarifying Cleansing Gel. I will use this before I do an actual face cleanse. I will use this to remove the bulk of my makeup, and then I will go in with an actual cleanser. But this started out with about 8 full ounces, and I am now right here at this line. So I think that that is a very attainable goal to try and use this up in the month of February. So that is one cleanser that I will hopefully be able to cross off my list. My next goal for perfumes is to finish up one Rollerball, and that is my Rollerball in Sinner, and this is from Kat Von D. This is just a, let me smell it. It's kind of a musky scent. It's light for it being musk, but it's really nice, and I'm hoping that I will be able to get through this entire Rollerball since it says, I believe it's 1/3 of an ounce. Yeah, this is 10 milliliters, 1/3 of an ounce, so that's about the size of this, so I should be able to get through this in the month. So I have another repeat goal for this month, and that is to try and hit side pan on my e.l.f. tinted lip balm. I'll show you guys how much I used. So I'll put up a clip of just what it looked like in the beginning of January, and this is where it is at the beginning of February. As you can see, I've been focusing mainly on this part of the lip balm, and my goal last month was to see pan on this area, and I didn't hit that, but I'm hoping to hit it this month, and we'll see what happens. Another repeat goal for this month is to use 3 new lipstick formulas, just, try and see if I like the formula, if it's changed at all, if I still enjoy it. Pretty easy goal. I believe I mentioned during my January goals that I didn't quite hit. I believe I said that I used up 1/3 of the lotion that I was trying to use up, and that was my Pumpkin Latte and Marshmallow Comfort Lotion. So what I had hoped to do was to hit about here, but I got to about 1/3 of the bottle finished, and that makes me really happy. So that's really exciting for me because I'm very slow at using up lotion. So for this month, what I would like to try and do is to use basically another 1/3 or a half of what's left. So that would be, I think, a pretty good goal to hit. And then I would also like to try and hit another 1/4 of this lotion. And this was part of my, I believe it was the 12 Pans of Christmas project. I wanted to try and finish this entire bottle up. But basically I got to about here, and then as of this past month I've used this much up. So what I would like to do is to hit another 1/4 of the bottle finished. And I think trying to use up that much amount for both of these would be really nice. So that is my lotion goal for this month. The next goal on my list is to finish up my baby lips. I finished up about 1/3 of what I had remaining, and what I would like to do is just to either try and finish it or get at least another 1/3 finished, but I think that's a decently attainable goal. We'll see. Next up, I want to keep focusing on my Murad Essential C cleanser, and I also want to keep focusing on my Blackhead Eliminating Scrub from Garnier Clean Plus. I would say that I finished about 1/3 of this and a half of this. So I think, at least, especially with this one, I think this one could definitely be finished up by the end of this coming month, and then this one, if I can get another 1/3 out of it, that would be really exciting. So just keep on chugging along with these two. So one of my overall goals for this upcoming year has to do with one of my absolute favorite powders. It's the only powder that I really use to set all my makeup, and that is my Physicians Formula Mineral Wear Talc-Free Mineral Face Powder. This one is in translucent. It is the lighter of the 2 shades that I own. And one of the goals that I have is to hit pan on the lighter shade, and as you can hopefully see, as of this last week, I hit pan on this, which is very exciting. So I could cross that off my list for the year, so that's one goal done. But what I would like to try and do for the next month is to hit pan on this and get the pan to be the size of a quarter. I think that that is a decently attainable goal. I don't think it should take me very long to hit pan, and you know, as time goes on, if I hit that, then you know, I'll make the pan size goal a little bit larger. I'll try and use this up before I have to switch shades, but for right now, I'm hoping to hit pan the size of a quarter. The next goal that I have is another repeat, and that is to use 2 different eyeshadow palettes, just again to test the formula. The next goal is sort of an oldie but a goodie. I have brought back an old favorite, and that is my Oil Free Moisture Combo Skin from Neutrogena. This is just a combo skin moisturizer, and what I would like to do is to finish up half of the remaining product. I basically tried to use this up before Halloween, and I had gotten to about here. And between Halloween and now, I've only used this much, but I'm hoping if I, you know, really put my mind to it, I will be able to finish up half of it. So we will see what happens. And my last goal for this month is to continue focusing on the oil-free acne wash from Neutrogena. I used up about 1/3 of the remaining amount, and like I believe I said before, I didn't wear makeup for about 7 days out of the month, so I didn't really have a reason to use this, but I'm hoping if I get better about waking up in the morning on time, I will be able to wear my makeup more frequently and therefore give this more focus. So those are all of the items that I chose for February. I knew for January going in that some of the things that I chose and some of the goals that I made were not necessarily attainable, but I needed to just put them in there to gauge, okay, is this an attainable goal or not? And now going into February, I had a lot easier of a time saying, okay, I can put this in for the month and I'll know I'll knock it out of the park. So I'm definitely feeling better about the goals for February. I'm sorry, not January, February. But before I end this video, I just wanted to pose you guys with a question. And I asked this on Instagram, but I know not everybody follows me on Instagram. I had bought a couple of new foundations and I'm sort of testing them out as I go. And I wanted to know, 1, would you guys like a review on any of the foundations that I tried out? And then 2, if there are any items that I've talked about on my channel, either in a haul or in any of these projects that you want to know my thoughts about more than what I've given as a small short review during my videos. If you want to have a review on any of those items, please let me know down below in the comments. I felt like it would be kind of a nice thing to give you guys my thoughts on certain items, either that I really like or I really don't like, just so that it may help you out a little bit more if you are looking for something to replace an item that you've used up. So please let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you have not already, and I'll catch you guys later.